mentioned in your speech to the CSCMP that best in market trumps world class. I wonder if you could explain that a little.
Right, I do think that our goal is to be best in market because we have to consider what the customer expects, what they can afford, and what their past experiences have been in the market. And so we try to meet that customer expectation and provide them the lowest cost. And lowest cost is driven by land cost, labor cost, the regulatory environment. And so we try to balance all those factors from customer expectations to the cost in the supply chain, provide what the customer wants. And I think that results in something that I would define as best in market. Not always best world class. It's not the best supply chain the world sees, but it's what's best for that customer. And that's our goal for the supply chain.
Does that become more difficult as Walmart expands internationally?
It certainly does. This morning we talked about some of the differences between the supply chain in India and what you see there versus the supply chain in Japan. Clearly those customers have had different experiences in their shopping. They have different levels of income. And so our challenge of providing a low-cost network that meets both customers' expectation is the definition of success.
Mm-hmm. But India and Japan, I wonder if you could compare briefly some of the different challenges in designing supply chains in those two countries.
So in Japan we have very high land cost and the labor costs are high. What that does is it allows you to apply a lot of automation in the supply chain to be able to provide low cost and good quality. In India, the infrastructure is still developing, so the road networks, the availability of trucks, just the time it takes to transport product is very difficult. So maintaining freshness, maintaining the chilled supply chain are big challenges. But those are things that we're working on to really provide our customers in India safe, quality product.
The expectations of the customer, how much of a role does that play in designing the different supply chains for different countries?
Good question. Customer expectations is where we really begin. So have they experienced fruit that came through the chilled chain? What is the packaging that they expect for their product? How quickly does the product turn over? So do they purchase once a week and expect that product to have a week's long life? Or do those customers purchase daily? Are they really only interested in a product that has 1 to 2 day life? And is that what they're willing to pay for? So starting with the customer in your supply chain design is really critical.
Walmart is known for its big superstores, but in some countries, such as Central America, you have really very small stores. And how do you manage the supply chain for those differently?
So it goes back to what the customer expects. In some countries, our customers don't have transportation, so they need to be able to walk to the store daily. What that means is that we have to build small formats. Those require very frequent deliveries and very small quantities of goods. The beauty of the large supercenters are that we can use 53-foot long trailers to service those stores. So it's very efficient, but it requires the infrastructure to be able to provide that kind of transportation. So the customer, their environment, their socioeconomic level is what really determines what the format will be. And the format determines what our supply chain will look like. Thank you very much.
Okay, one other question, if you don't mind, just very quickly. You've expressed some thoughts on the role of inventory in the design of distribution networks. I wonder if you could briefly elaborate on that, please.
I think too often supply chain professionals look at inventory as one of their fixed design requirements. They look at how many days supply they've held in the past and they say, well, we need to design buildings to hold that much inventory in the future. My challenge to supply chain professionals is to say, what is the right level of inventory holding and how can you really optimize your supply chain if you're willing to take on the challenges of changing your days supply holding. Thank you.
Thank you.